Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Trev and Lev show here on YouTube.com. We're talking SEC, coaching carousel, and much, much more. I'm Trev. That's Lev. And yeah, let's get into this one. Very, very boring week of SEC games. The classic. I saw a meme that was like the classic week before Thanksgiving football, SEC football slate. And yeah, it's basically like what Auburn, Mercer, Alabama, Eastern Illinois, all the
I think the closest
so
game, the closest game was LSU Western Kentucky.
true. 13-10, and we're not even going to talk about that one.
No, because it's
So,
a dumb
'cause-
game. I think the only thing I want to say about that game is did you see Brian Kelly's
yes.
son? I didn't
Free
even
my
know
boy
he was.
BK.
I didn't know even
I
know
didn't
he
even
was on LSU's roster, and bro
free my
was
boy BK.
doing his senior day stuff, and his dad's not even at the game either, which is funny. But that's all we'll say
Yeah.
about. Well, that's all we'll say about LSU until we talk about coaching carousel. Um, because there definitely will be stuff to say about them then. But we'll get into this.
Near the end of the video, yes, sir. Near the end of the video. Arkansas, Texas. Texas outlast Arkansas. Not really. Texas won by a lot more than the score suggests. It was a pretty wide margin for this one. Arkansas actually got a late score to make it seem a little bit closer. So I think it was like 52-31. I think Arkansas wait, no, 52-30. And then
Yeah,
Arkansas scored really late. I mean,
I mean,
there's not much to say about this one,
I will
really.
say I think Arkansas is not a good defense by any means, but I do think Arch Manning is starting to kind of settle in a little bit more. Kind
That's
of
a good take. I
he's
agree.
I don't think he's playing insanely good football, but he's playing better football. You can
Yeah.
tell Texas has gotten a little better as the season's gone on. And I think if he really works in the offseason, he could be a pretty good quarterback next year. Of course, this year they're not going to make the playoffs, and he's had a pretty mid season. Um, but
Yeah.
I think there is some upside to Arch. He's not going to be as good as his uncles, but I think he could be a decent quarterback for Texas. Um,
I don't think you can blame everything on him. His offensive line is terrible. Like he's
yeah,
just under so much pressure. Obviously they don't have any run game to speak of, really. So
yeah. If I was
I,
Texas, I would really try and get some good offensive line
they're gonna need it. They're
players
gonna
in the
need it
off
to
season.
compete. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it, or you're not gonna be able to compete in the SEC. And we see that every single season. There's some teams that don't have good offensive lines, and yeah, you can't be a good offense in the SEC because these are some of the best defensive lines in the country. The SEC has some of the best. So
Offensive line is one of the most underappreciated position groups I think in all of football, but it's also simultaneously probably the most important. Um, you're
And
protecting
that's
the
what's helped him
quarterback.
Tennessee a lot this year. I think Joey's had a pretty good season because the offensive line has been able to protect him. We
Yeah,
see when they don't protect him is when he makes the most mistakes.
and
So
surprisingly for Tennessee, the I was really worried about the center play, but honestly, centers have been pretty good. The center's been pretty good the whole year for
yeah,
them. So yeah, Texas really just needs to try and get a better offensive line in the offseason.
big game next week for them against Texas A&M. There is actually the smallest chance that they actually make the playoffs at 9-3 if
Yeah,
they are able to beat A&M. I don't see that happening, but it should be a pretty fun game.
yeah.
So
It's definitely a long shot just because um I think even if Texas A&M lost, there's only 5 teams that are going to make the playoffs from the SEC, I
from the
think,
SEC.
and they all have better records than Texas. So,
Right. Unless
and
Oklahoma loses. So they would have to win and Oklahoma lose because Texas won head to head.
yeah, I but even
And they would
then,
probably have to have Vanderbilt
Yeah,
lose as well.
Vanderbilt would have to lose too, and I
The only
think
problem with
Oklahoma's
that
the
is
least likely to lose. One of the least likely teams to lose. I think Ole Miss is more likely to lose in the SEC. Georgia can't. It doesn't matter because they're just playing Georgia Tech. Um, I don't think A&M is gonna lose, but I feel like they're more likely to lose. I just think LSU's so bad, and Oklahoma's playing
Yeah, yeah.
playing good football right
That could
now.
be that could be the lowest. Like that could be like a 10-7 game. Like actually,
Yeah, I think Oklahoma will probably score like it'll probably be very similar to the game they just played.
yeah. We'll get into that in a second. Moving on here, we have yeah, yeah. This is um this is called style points.
Yeah,
This was embarrassing for Kentucky. Kentucky got
it's
embarrassed.
embarrassing for Kentucky, but also why was Pavia going back in the game? I don't know if you saw the
Heisman,
clip.
Heisman, yeah.
I don't know if you
It's
saw
Heisman and it's
he's begging the coach to let him go back in. I just think that's a loser mentality in my opinion. I think just the whole thing it just makes it feel like they've made it all about Diego, and I think that you can there's things that you can really like about Diego and his story and stuff, but I think this season, like, yeah, he's cocky, he's arrogant, and that's part of his character. But I think he's taken it way farther this season to the point to where it's just it makes you not want to root for him at all. And I mean, I'm not going to root for him anyway.
I can't stand the attitude really.
And the whole
Mostly
thing of
is
he
my
where
problem.
he's like uh, he's going to be in the running for the Heisman, but he doesn't deserve the Heisman. He's not. Vanderbilt hasn't beat. I mean, as a Tennessee fan, we can't say much because Tennessee's not beaten a great team either. Vanderbilt hasn't beaten a single great team this season. Their best win is against Missouri at home, and Missouri, their quarterback was hurt.
Shut them down. And they shut them down offensively. That was one of Diego's worst games there.
Yeah.
And
So
then so
and and I in my it's my personal opinion that their loss to Alabama was Diego's fault. So I really just don't get the hype for Diego in the sense of him being a Heisman. I think he's a great quarterback and he's been a big part of Vanderbilt's success, but the fact that he was still playing in the game just to pad
yeah,
his stats, I think
yeah.
that's just
They
very loserish. And just the stuff
they
with
they
his
also
family
need
too.
yeah.
I can't stand his family because they're making it about them too. It's like everything's about the Pavia family, and it takes away from the rest of this Vanderbilt team that's very good. There's just it feels like they're making it all about Pavia, and it's just the only reason they're good is because Diego Pavia. No, the reason Vanderbilt's good is because they're the oldest team in the SEC, and they have a lot of good players on in different position groups. They're a very good team. It's not just a Pavia team. Like you take
Mm,
Pavia if you put a different quarterback in there that's somewhat good or pretty decent, they're probably still going to be a pretty decent team. They might not be as good, um, but this team overall is a good team. So just acting like it's all Pavia, it's just been annoying. I saw something where his brother was on the field like talking to players and like while they're warming up, and it's like dude, this you shouldn't even be on the field right now, buddy. Like,
yeah.
and then his mom, I don't know if you saw the clip of his mom in the stand
Doing the
dancing.
Heisman.
Yeah, like
She did the Heisman, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well,
it's
I
just
can't wait to
goofy.
beat them this weekend. It's gonna be awesome.
Yep, we'll be there.
We will
But
be there.
I don't know. Good team, good win for them. But I mean, just also
They
people are like,
basically did the same thing. It's like the same thing that we did to Kentucky. It was like
but they did it
they
at
didn't need
home.
to run. Yeah, but what I'm saying was they didn't need to run the ball. They just threw it all over their like that was Joey's best game of the season, and that's Diego's best game of the season as well. They were just tore apart this Kentucky secondary.
Well, and the thing is,
Didn't even need to bother running the
they're
football.
treating
So,
this like this is why they should be in the playoffs, or this is why Diego's a
well,
Heisman winner.
you,
Literally,
you
this is
gotta have
exactly what
style. They
Tennessee
have
did.
to have style points.
Well, I'm just saying
They
this is
have to have
exactly what
style
Tennessee
points.
did, and Tennessee's not a playoff team.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I just I don't think I don't think like Vanderbilt is 10-2, and if they beat Tennessee, they have a case to be in the playoffs. I don't just like I don't think Tennessee's a playoff team. I don't think Vanderbilt's a playoff team, and I don't think Diego's a Heisman winner.
Tennessee's
I
got to win at home to put their chances to bed, though. I think they still have a shot.
they the thing is though,
Whether
I
or
still
not
don't
I
think they
agree
make
with
it
it,
even if they beat Tennessee.
they're gonna need a lot of help, like we
Yeah,
previously mentioned. I think they're gonna need a lot of help to get in.
a lot of help. I just don't see. I think the only thing that could happen is Auburn could maybe beat Alabama, but that Auburn team is just not good. So I don't see any of the other losses going in Vandy's favor, and I just don't see the SEC getting 6 teams in, and
That's not gonna happen. Yeah.
none of those teams are going to get jumped by Vanderbilt. There's just you can't
No.
tell me there's a
Yeah.
world where Vanderbilt makes it with the same record and an inferior. Let's just be honest. Vanderbilt has an inferior resume to all those teams. Let's not. We're
Yeah.
not.
Oklahoma has one of the best resumes in the whole country. So
Alabama. The only thing that's going against Alabama right now is they lost to Florida State. That literally, other
yeah,
than that, Alabama has so many better wins.
they
Georgia,
have the head-to-head against Vanderbilt too. They're
yeah.
not gonna.
So there's no world where Vanderbilt
At
jumps
nine and
any of
three,
those
at nine
teams.
and three, Alabama might get in over a 10-2 Vanderbilt.
Same thing with
So
Oklahoma, honestly.
yeah,
That's just
are they
Vanderbilt.
next?
Their problem is the only two games of significance, really, or I guess three. They went 2-1 or 1-2 in the three tough games on their schedule. I mean, Tennessee did this. Tennessee did the same thing pretty much. They went
Yeah,
0-3 in the three
yeah,
tough games in their schedule.
yeah. They just
So
Vanderbilt just didn't happen to have another tough game left on their schedule, except Tennessee, which is this weekend. Um, but yeah,
yeah,
who we got up next year?
Tennessee, Florida, which we don't have to talk too much
We
about
already
this,
talked about.
but you had it on the itinerary, so we'll talk again just real short. Not much that happened in the SEC this week, so might as well bring up
Yeah,
probably one of the more interesting games. Tennessee dominates Florida. Um, not we didn't see it coming, but just a solid game from Tennessee all around, and just Florida just kind of let it happen.
yeah. Florida kind of laid it down in this one. We kind of saw that coming at some point this season. Just didn't expect it to be in this one. I think when you're down, what, 31 nothing at halftime. Like we mentioned in our video, down 21 nothing, it was kind of just over. You lay down, that's the game. Um,
Yeah,
we're happy that Tennessee broke the curse, obviously for us. Yeah, not. I mean, honestly, we talked about it a lot in our other video.
yeah. So
Wanted to mention it here, but yeah, go check out that video.
go check out the video. We posted it yesterday, so
Yep.
go check it out. We talk way more in depth. It's about a 20-minute video, so just for a better deep dive into that, go check it out. And also just kind of just a quick little plug here in the middle. Subscribe if you're enjoying the video and like. We got multiple videos. Just go back, watch them. Uh, and just if you like us, subscribe and keep watching. But we'll get into the next one.
Oklahoma, Missouri, very boring game here. Kind of never felt in doubt. So at the beginning of the game did not look too good for Missouri or for Oklahoma. As you see on the screen there, hit that big play, and then yeah, it was kind of just sit on the lead and stay there. I still think that if this team has like one bad defensive game, they're gonna lose. That's the issue with Oklahoma right now is their offense is not going to win them games. It's been their defense all year, and yeah,
I
so
think I think
yeah,
Oklahoma deserves to be in the playoffs. Um,
yeah,
but
I
they
did
will
too.
not. They might be a first round exit, to be honest, depending on who they get matched up against. Their offense is not
Yeah, I
good.
mean the best case
Legitimately
scenario
have
is
they legitimately have the best defense in the country, in my opinion. But
yeah.
it's their offense is just not good.
The best case scenario for them is they match up against like the ACC champ. Um, is probably the best case scenario. They probably don't want to play Notre Dame. Notre Dame is pretty well rounded. You would want to play the G5 team, but you're not going to be the fifth seed. There's no way you're going to be the fifth seed. You don't want to play like Oregon because Oregon's sneakily one of the hottest teams right now, I think. And then other than that, you'd probably play an SEC school, and You probably have the best chance is probably against an ACC team, or yeah, that's
Or
probably it.
I mean,
Your best chance to win is probably
maybe
against
Big 12
ACC.
team, maybe the Big 12 champ,
Oh right, yeah, I totally forgot about the Big 12. Dang.
which the
Yeah,
Big 12
dude.
is
I mean,
honestly better
them
than the
and
ACC. So
it is. Yeah, I them against Texas Tech would be a really interesting game, honestly,
yeah,
because Texas Tech has a really good defense
I think
too.
that's a
So like
very
that would be like,
that's a very that's a very possible matchup too. Probably I don't know. I haven't looked at.
I mean, Tech is probably going to get the fifth seed.
Yeah, so they could be like the what's the fifth
Well, so they
matched up
would play the
against?
12th. Wait, they would
Oh,
play the 12th.
you
Yeah,
think?
so
Okay, maybe not then, because
so they're
Oklahoma
probably
won't be
not
the
going to play.
12.
They're probably not going to play Big 12 champ unless it's
No,
like unless BYU beats Tech in the championship game, and then Tech also gets in, and BYU is seated lower at like 7,
you think two
and
Big
then
12
Oklahoma's
teams could get
10 or
in?
something. If Tech loses, I'm pretty sure they're gonna get in. Yeah, BYU
How
would
many
be
losses does
because
Texas Tech have?
they just have the one. Um,
I don't
and it
know, but
was a
who are they gonna replace?
the fifth SEC team.
I doubt it. I think they'd be more likely to replace Notre
I don't
Dame,
know. I think the
honestly.
Big 12's only a two. I think Big 12's only a two bid league if Texas Tech loses. It's a one bid
I
league
don't. You might be
when
right.
Texas Tech wins. 'Cause
You might be right, but I don't think that guarantees a two bid for them.
it doesn't. But I think it's likely. I mean, there's still chaos scenarios that could happen. I don't know. It's
I don't know.
honestly
I
this
just
late in
don't
the
see
season.
them knocking out.
There's still like 20 teams alive at this point in the season, which is crazy to think about, but it's true.
Yeah,
There's
I
still
just
20 teams alive.
I just don't see them keeping out an SEC team that's 10-2 that's not Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt's the
So it
only
would
or
have
like
to
one of
be
the.
like it would have to be like Oklahoma loses and Vanderbilt loses. You see what I'm saying? So it'd both be 9-3 teams. So then you wouldn't have
I
a
just don't think.
fifth ten
Yeah,
and two SEC team.
I don't see that happening.
I don't either, but it's
I think
possible.
if
I
both of
think it's
those
definitely
teams
possible.
lose, then there might only be four SEC teams in.
Yeah, that was my point. That's my
But
point. Tech
I
gets
thought
in
you were saying
over the
Tech.
9-3.
I thought you were saying Tech would get in, um, even if like that didn't happen. Because I don't think that happens.
No, no, they yeah. I don't know. There's still a chance. I don't have a bracket right in front of me, but there is still a chance for two Big 12 teams to get in. But
Yeah.
um, what do we have? Is it the carousel now?
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin. Um, lots of lots of rumored offers on the table. A rumored offer from LSU, 90 plus million. I think I saw 98 million offer from LSU. Ole Miss, obviously, still interested. And then Florida. Florida, I think, is the third option in this scenario. What do you think as the top three for Lane? What do you think he's gonna do?
I don't know. Somebody. I don't think this is gonna happen. But I was listening to the post game show for that Jonathan Crompton, former Tennessee quarterback who played for Lane Kiffin, does after the Tennessee post game shows, and this doesn't make any sense to me, but what he said he thinks is gonna happen is that DeBoer is gonna leave for Alabama, and Kiffin's waiting on that Alabama job to open up.
Wait, what?
Or
Wait,
not,
so
DeBoer
DeBoer
is
leaves
leaving
for
for
Penn
Penn State.
State?
Yeah, that's what Jonathan Crompton thinks. I don't know. I really
Talk about a chaos scenario. That's
that would
insane.
be interesting to say the least. I don't know how much stock there is in the DeBoer to
I
Penn
don't
State rumors,
subscribe to that theory.
but if DeBoer did leave for Penn State and Alabama called Kiffin, he'd take the
Mm,
job in an instant.
yeah.
I think Alabama might be the only job. Honestly, I think he would maybe take the Tennessee job in a heartbeat too if he was offered it, which he never will be offered it again. But I think the Alabama job is like the only one that he would take in a
Okay.
heartbeat with no questions asked.
So going back to these three, I think he leaves for LSU. Um, and I actually also think that there's a very solid chance he doesn't even coach the playoff game for Ole Miss because the offers on the table. I think that the Ole Miss AD is going to want to have an answer by like after the Egg Bowl if he's
Hmm.
staying or not. If he's not gonna, if he's if he says no, he's not going to coach the playoff game.
He's in a tough
Um,
position though because it's like you're on the line to coach a playoff game, but also if you're gonna take another job,
you have to do it now.
you got to do it
See,
now. So
that's the
it's like,
problem. That's the problem is because they fired their coach early, so he's stuck in a hard place where it's if he was 8-4, it wouldn't matter. But they're what 10-1
yeah,
or 10-2 or something, 10-1, I think.
they're 10-1. And the thing is, I don't
So
think the thing is Kiffin doesn't want to stay at Ole Miss long term. Um,
this is why this is the year he has to move because I don't personally think that DeBoer is going to Penn State. I did see that rumor floated around as
oh, I
well.
don't either. I wasn't saying that
But
like I thought that was gonna
this is the
happen.
year. Like this is the year. You have Florida and LSU open, two of the biggest jobs in the SEC open, two of the biggest jobs in the country.
But the problem
Like
here's
when are
the
you going to have
problem
this
though.
opportunity again?
I know both of those schools, and I'm not saying that this is what he's thinking. I'm just saying both of those schools are in horrible spots right now. LSU less so. I personally don't see
I
there
don't think it
being any.
matters.
I don't see there any
I
way
don't think
he's.
it
There's
matters.
no way he's going to Florida, in my opinion. Like I,
Yeah, I would be actually shocked if he goes to Florida.
but with LSU, it's hard because it's definitely possible to turn them around really quickly. But just looking at Ole Miss right now, he's got Ole Miss rolling. Um, they're wanting to
I
put more
still don't
money
think that
in.
matters. I don't think that matters. I think if you have LSU open, you take it. That what did they go last? Did they go, what did they finish last year? 8-4.
I don't know.
They're gonna finish 7-5 this year.
No, no, no. Last year they finished. They lost 3 games. They got knocked out
Okay,
by Florida because they were actually going to
they're
make the.
not in.
They were going to make
They're
the
not in that bad
playoffs.
of.
They were going to make the playoffs last year. They
Oh
lost to
right,
Florida and it got Tennessee in. They were going to make it over Tennessee.
right. They're not in that bad of a spot. They went 9-3 last year. They're gonna finish 7-5 this year.
I think it's very likely that
Th-
Kiffin leaves, but I just don't think it's as certain as everybody else is saying. I think he is
I think
thinking
he
it through.
leaves.
I do think the fact that he hasn't already signed an extension is very telling, though. I think that's
Yeah, because
very
he's thinking
telling,
about it.
especially when you have a
I
playoff
like
on
I
the
said,
line.
this is the move. This is the year that you move. This is the year that this many jobs are open. You're gonna get big time pay either way, whether you stay or you leave, because this many jobs are open.
And I mean,
This is a perfect year for him to move.
here's what I will say: I could see it right now where he's kind of just weighing his options, which I think is stupid if he is gonna stay. But it could be one of those things where he's just kind of waiting and seeing how.
You definitely feel bad if he leaves before a playoff game. That sucks. Like it would be a similar spot at Tennessee where you just kind of leave the program in a weird spot. Not like Tennessee wasn't. That was in 2009, but you know what I'm saying. Like it would be the same type of Kiffin move to kind of just abandon school in a spot or whatever. But it would probably suck more for Ole Miss fans just because he's been there so long and he's finally got them in a spot where they're a lock for the playoff this
Well,
year.
I also think the dumb thing about putting so much stock in Kiffin is that what has he done? What has he done to warrant all of this? Josh Heupel,
Okay.
which I'm thankful
Well,
that he's
okay.
not. Nobody's trying to take Josh Heupel, but Josh Heupel has done more at Tennessee in less amount of time than Lane Kiffin, and he's not getting approached by any of these schools. Lane Kiffin hasn't even been to the playoffs yet. His best win is against Georgia last year, and that's it. Like, tell me
I strongly disagree. I
what
disagree with this take. I disagree with the take big time.
what else has he done? Other than I think he's done a great job, but it's not like he's won a championship. So I think the amount of money and the amount of just we only want Lane Kiffin from these schools is crazy because they're
It's warranted.
I mean
I think it's. I think he's really good. Listen,
oh, I'm not
you have
saying
to
he's a
think about
bad
the
coach.
caliber of program. Like you
I'm
got.
just saying
No, no, I know, I know.
he
But
hasn't done anything that's
you,
warranting this
you're saying it's
much.
not impressive for him. You're saying it's not impressive for him to win 10 games every single season at Ole Miss, when
Well, he hasn't won
Ole
10
Miss
games every season.
9 or 10 games basically every season.
I think it's
You,
impressive. I'm just saying
listen,
he
listen,
hasn't
like,
gotten over the
listen.
hump yet. And I'm not saying he
Well,
can't do it at LSU because he definitely could, but I'm just saying
he
he
can't do it at
hasn't.
Ole Miss. He can't do it at Ole Miss. Listen, y- Tennessee is a different caliber of program than Ole Miss is. Ole Miss was good for a couple seasons. The only time they've ever been good was for a couple seasons while Hugh Freeze was there, and they weren't even as good as they are now. Hugh
Yeah,
Freeze beat Alabama twice, and that's why they were like in an okay spot. He has taken a program that isn't historically good and made them one of the best programs in the SEC, top five program in the SEC consistently every single season, in a school that isn't known for money, football caliber, or anything. He's raked in the top three portal class out of the last 3 seasons, to Ole Miss, which isn't. It's just not a program where you win at.
I think
Like
that's
it
fair.
is beyond impressive what he's done there, and he's in a spot where he's going to make the playoffs this season. He got really close to a SEC championship game appearance, which is something that Ole Miss has never done. They've never made an SEC championship game. There's a very slim chance that they do that now. There's probably close to zero chance they do that now. But he's had them in a spot where they are winning games. And I think as a program, if you're an Ole Miss fan, you can't ask for more than a 9 or 10 win season. He's delivered on that for the past several seasons. I think it's the potential. It is the potential of you give him more assets, more resources, you give him a better location. LSU matters so much to Louisiana, the state of Louisiana. LSU football matters to them, so much that you get the governor involved in the hiring of this coach. LSU is one of those states, or Louisiana is one of those states where uh, you have to win that state in recruiting because players are going to want to go to your school. You have to be a bad recruiter for them not to want to go to your school, right? That's one of the most loyal states, and they have a lot of talent there. He's going to be able to get so much more talent in, not just through the portal, but in high school recruiting. He's going to have more resources. He's going to have a better fan base. It doesn't make sense for him not to leave. I don't know about now. I think it makes so much sense for him to leave now, but there's no reason why he won't leave eventually. Why not now when you have three really good options, two that he's considering?
Yeah. I'm not I'm just saying for these schools, I think it's crazy to go that much in on him when
Who's a better option than Kiffin right now? I'll just say that. Who's a better
I
option
don't
than Kiffin?
I don't know. I don't think there's any really great options. I think he's probably the best option out there, but I'm more so just think it's dumb in the sense of this whole system of paying coaches hundreds of millions of dollars or close to it for somebody who's never had the success other than the fact that he's done more at Ole Miss than any other coach. But he's still never won an SEC championship. He's still never been to the playoffs. He doesn't really have any like big time wins. If when you look at it, there's no. He usually loses to the biggest games on his schedule, and I get it. It's Ole Miss, but I'm less attacking the fact that LSU wants Lane Kiffin because I think that Lane Kiffin's probably their best option. I just think it's stupid to pay that much for a coach, and I think LSU's not learning anything. They just they just went through a whole thing with Brian Kelly, and they had paid him a ton of
It's
money.
too late. It's too late to go back on it. This is the state of football right now. You're gonna pay your coach $100 million to come if you're a big program. So I mean, it's too late. I get it. It's stupid. It's dumb, but it's too late. It's too late. This is the state of that it is in right now. Like this is the state of college football. It's stupid. I understand, but like you paid Jimbo Fisher $100 million to go to Texas A&M.
Yeah,
He had actually won a national championship. That didn't work out at all. Actually, that was a terrible hire. Looking back on it,
yeah,
why not take a chance on the guy that has all this potential in the world
yep. And I mean that's
and
all it is.
that has won 10 games?
They're taking a chance. And I think LSU is probably outside of maybe Alabama, probably the most likely place for Kiffin to win a national championship. Um, so I think it's a good hire, and only time will tell if he is able to win a championship there. But I don't know. I just think it's
Speaking
the
of a
whole
good
way
hire,
coaching has gone is just dumb. But
it is dumb. But speaking of another good hire or a good hire, James Franklin to Virginia Tech. Um, did you have a slide for that?
no, I mean, I just put this up for the coaching carousel.
Franklin to Virginia Tech. Um, excellent hire for Virginia Tech, in my opinion. Um, the ACC has never been in a spot where it's more it's easy to win than it is now. Uh, it's a program that was good once with Frank Beamer, and that's its history. Is you have one good coach, right? Uh, I think he should be able to take them to a spot where they should be competing for an ACC championship every year. Uh, say what you want about him at Penn State, and yes, he failed to meet the expectations of beating your biggest teams on the schedule every single season, similar to Kiffin. But he was very consistent. You can't bash him for that. Like I said, ACC is super winnable. That schedule he has next year is also very winnable. I don't see why he won't work out, and I don't see why they don't have a chance to make the playoffs in his first couple of years there. Honestly,
Yeah, very good hire for Virginia Tech. I feel like James Franklin will thrive there. It's a good recruiting. Virginia's a pretty good for high school talent. And you really only have one other school to compete with. Um, so I mean, it's a great hire. If you can win the ACC, you're a lock for the playoff. So I mean, and I don't think it's that hard to do. You just gotta not get in your own way. I think that's with most of the SEC teams. There are the ACC teams. They just get in their own way, and that's why they don't win the ACC. So, and I
how
think
long do you think he's going to be there for?
I don't know. I don't think he'll ever get fired from there.
No,
Um,
I was saying I think he's going to leave. I think he'll leave. Yeah, I'm just thinking. I'm just wondering how long do you think it's going to be until he does leave?
a few years. I think he's got to win. He's probably got to win the ACC championship before another school tries to get
He
him.
has to make. I think he has to make the playoffs like once or twice. I don't know if like winning the ACC championship game and like making the playoffs might not have to go hand in hand if you're winning. If you win 10 games and you have some big wins,
Yeah,
you
but
don't have
if
to
his team's
necessarily
good enough,
win.
it's gonna probably win the ACC championship.
It's gonna at least appear in the ACC championship game, right? Like it might not win it, but
Well,
it could appear and still make the playoff.
yeah, and I think
I don't know.
the thing with
I don't know.
Franklin is he's been at Penn State. He was good against every team except for the top 10 teams he played pretty much.
And he's
And
not gonna
there
play
really
top
is
10.
no
He's not
yeah.
gonna
There's
play
really
very
no
many top 10
ACC
games.
schools that are going to be
There,
top 10.
there could
So
be there could be a season where he doesn't play a single top 10 team. Like I mean, I think next year they have Miami on the schedule, maybe Clemson. And then that's it basically. I don't think they play SMU or any of the top teams from this season.
yeah,
So I mean,
I
like you won't play top 10 teams in the ACC hardly. You might have one a season.
one thing
And
that
then if you schedule your non-conference correctly, then you should have 10 wins every year.
one thing I will say
I,
about
I'm
Franklin that I think is respectable. Um, I think a lot of coaches when they get fired, they get all this big money. They usually call it quits, and you had the whole thing with him saying he's not done. He wants to win it. He still feels like he could win a championship.
Yeah,
Um, I think it's coming. I mean, he's a young guy, so I mean, it makes sense that he's going to get back into coaching even after getting fired,
it is
especially the
super
way
cool
he
to
got
see though.
fired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think he expected it. Like, it is cool to see, and it's definitely respectable. I mean, as much as I would like to bash him at Penn State, um, couldn't win the big game.
Well, he's not a perfect
He
coach by any means.
No, but I mean, what he did with Vanderbilt is something we had never seen before. This season or what Clark Lee has been doing, and that change that was just that's not just because of NIL, but that changed the landscape. Like NIL changed the landscape. That's why it's easier to win at schools like Vanderbilt now. He did that at Vanderbilt before that was a thing. I mean, good for him. I mean, good for him, man. I mean, it is an excellent. If I was a Virginia Tech fan, I would be over the moon about the hire, though. I mean, I mean, come on, like, he couldn't have done any better. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm excited for him. Excited to see what they are able to do there. Did you have anything else on the carousel here?
No, I mean Arkansas. I haven't really heard much out of them or Auburn. I think with Auburn, I've been hearing a lot about. I think is it Tulane's coach John Summerall?
Yeah,
I feel like he's likely for Auburn. I think that's who they're looking at. Um, so I
he'd be
keep
a good hire.
so I keep a lookout on that. I don't know anything about
He's the
who
best
Arkansas is
G5
going
coach.
for.
Besides, I mean, him and Golesh are probably the two best group of five
Yeah,
coaches.
I haven't heard. I feel like I haven't heard anything else about Golesh going anywhere. I feel
Here's
like he's
my
kind of.
crazy thought on this: is I feel like there's a chance he ends up at Oklahoma State. I don't. I know we don't really talk about Oklahoma State a lot on the pod or anything, but I think I don't think he gets one of these big jobs. I don't think he gets like an SEC school job or anything. I think he ends up at Oklahoma State, and that's a place where you can win.
Yeah,
So,
it's
especially with the
yeah.
offense he's running.
I think it'd be a good spot for him too. I think it'd be
Yeah.
better than the
It gives
SEC
him a
for
couple
him.
more years. He gets to compete for a couple years at a high level, and then you get an SEC job or a Big Ten job or whatever. Like I think he needs one more. I think he has to have one more step before he gets that. John Summerall has been doing it pretty long time. He was so he already did it at Troy, and then he's been at Tulane for a couple years now. So he's a really good coach. I think that would be a good hire for Auburn. I don't
Yeah,
think Arkansas is going to end up with anyone good
no, probably not.
because they're not willing to put money into it because of basketball and baseball and stuff. And on top of that, it is the one of the worst jobs in the Big Ten and our SEC. It's probably one of the worst jobs, just because of you're not. It's not a place where you can compete at really. It's like Mississippi State. You're not going to be able to compete, or like Kentucky. Like
Yeah,
you can't compete at those. I don't know. You're not going to win the SEC championship, Arkansas.
yeah. This is not gonna happen, but it'd be kind of funny if they literally made the exact same hire that they did in basketball in a way. If they hired like this, and I'm not saying this is gonna happen. I'm just this is just
It's-
would be funny. Like Dabo Sweeney. Like think about it. It'd be like the exact same hire as
yeah,
Calipari.
yeah, it would be.
Because I
Yeah,
mean, Sweeney's on the downswing at Clemson,
he is. Yeah,
which that'd
that's
be a good
hilarious.
hire for Arkansas, but that's not gonna happen. But that would be a good hire for
Dabo's
them.
not going to leave unless like Dabo's not going to leave on his own. Like he's going to
No,
have to get fired to leave.
yeah,
Uh,
probably.
wait, who do you think gets the Penn State job though? I know we kind of mentioned it.
I don't
I haven't really been
know.
thinking about it because I have no clue.
I feel like it's gonna be. This is gonna be a lot of these jobs are gonna get filled by people that we don't know or we barely know.
Yeah, but would that be okay? Like, would they be okay with that? See, that's the thing. Like, you're gonna have to upgrade from James Franklin, and
Their team is trying to push.
as much as we like clowned on Franklin, though, like, how many coaches are actually better than Franklin? Like,
That are available or
yeah,
would
because
go.
like you gotta think about okay, you gotta think about who's available. Like, we're not including like Ryan Day is not available. He's not gonna leave. Just like guys like that are not available, right?
Yeah, or like
Like. who is like Lane Kiffin's available because he's obviously not going to stay at Ole Miss for
But
forever.
Kirby Smart's not
Like
available.
like Dan Lanning's unavailable,
Kirby's
right? Dan Lanning,
unavailable.
Kirby, yeah, these are some of the best coaches in the
Josh
country right
Heupel's
here.
probably not available. You don't think he's gonna leave? He might would be if the team made the right offer. But I don't.
Yeah, but
I
like who's better than James Franklin that's available right now? Like Kiffin is, in my opinion. But he's not going to go to Penn State, obviously. So
no,
like,
he wouldn't fit there.
so what are you gonna do if you're Penn State, man? Like that is thinking about it.
Uh,
Like, was that a dumb firing?
maybe
Like that was,
NFL type job. Maybe go for some NFL guy,
yeah,
like
maybe.
a maybe like an NFL like offensive coordinator or something. I don't know. I
But
don't know who
yeah,
their team is. I saw the players are really pushing for the interim coach, which
that's not. There's no way that's gonna
no,
happen.
I'm
That would
not
be
saying that's
crazy.
gonna happen. I'm just saying that I saw like a video after they beat
Doesn't
Maryland, I think, or something. Or no,
doesn't that
was it
happen
Rutgers?
like
Who did they just beat?
they beat Nebraska actually?
Nebraska. Yeah, they beat Nebraska,
Yeah.
and like after the game, their players were holding up signs saying
So
higher,
doesn't
whatever.
this happen with like every single? Does this not happen with every interim coach ever? Like, don't the players like push for this guy to get hired full time,
Uh,
and
not
then
not after Butch got fired. Tennessee's coach, the players hated him, the interim guy, especially Jawan.
okay, well, typically though, I'm pretty sure typically,
Not sometimes, yeah. I don't think the Florida
and
players are wanting them to hire that guy, Danny or Gonzalez or whatever his name was. That was their interim coach. Uh, I don't know. It just depends. Depends. I think, yeah, it just depends.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
think that's a good hire. I'm just saying their players are like, well, let's hire him.
we'll have to keep an eye on all these situations. Probably make eventually we'll make a full carousel video once these names start
It's
rolling
gonna
in. We might just in the off season here.
it's gonna be an interesting off season, I will say. And
Very excited
we probably won't upload as much during the off season, but I if something crazy happens and stuff's gonna crazy's gonna happen, we'll probably make videos on it. So stay tuned and subscribe for that.
for sure. And yeah, I mean, just thank you. We'd like to thank you guys for tuning into this one. Just a fun time hanging out here. But yeah, like Love said, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share. Really helps us out a lot. Small channel trying to grow here. But yeah, I'm Trev. That's Lev. This was the Trev and Lev show. Catch you on the next one.
Peace.